Have you ever felt the weight of the world bearing down on you, with every muscle tense, every breath heavy, every heartbeat a reminder of stress and strain? Perhaps you've tried every remedy, every treatment, every piece of advice you've come across, yet nothing seems to ease the burden. Have you ever wondered if there might be another way? What if the key to healing lies not in external solutions, but within you? Could it be that your body, in its infinite wisdom, holds the power to heal itself? In a world overwhelmed by the noise of modern life, we often forget to listen to the subtle wisdom of our own bodies. But what if we could tap into that wisdom? What if, by following a few simple yet profound principles, we could unlock the hidden potential within us? This tale of wisdom, inspired by the teachings of Buddhism, will take you on a journey through 7 essential rules for self-care and well-being. Principles that hold the power to transform not only your body, but your entire life. But this isn't just another list of wellness tips. These principles are rooted in the ancient teachings of Zen, offering a path to true healing, balance, and peace. As you journey through this story, you will uncover not just the rules themselves, but the timeless wisdom and deep emotional resonance that lie behind them. So, take a deep breath, settle in, and let this tale guide you toward a place of inner harmony and self-discovery. Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled at the base of misty mountains, there lived a young woman named Amara. Amara was known for her kindness and gentle spirit, yet she carried a burden that weighed heavily on her heart. For as long as she could remember, she had struggled with chronic pain, an ailment that seemed to have no cure. She had visited every healer, tried every remedy, and yet the pain persisted, like a shadow that refused to leave her side. One day, in her search for relief, Amara heard of a wise monk named Master Li, who lived in a secluded monastery deep within the mountains. It was said that Master Li possessed great wisdom and could heal not just the body, but the soul. Desperate and weary, Amara decided to seek him out, hoping that he might have the answers she so desperately needed. After a long and arduous journey, Amara finally arrived at the monastery. It was a place of serene beauty, surrounded by ancient trees and filled with the sound of birdsong. She found Master Li meditating by a tranquil pond, his presence radiating peace and calm. With a trembling voice, Amara poured out her story, her years of suffering, and her desperate hope for healing. Master Li listened quietly, his eyes filled with compassion. When Amara finished, he nodded slowly and spoke in a gentle tone. "Amara, your pain is not a punishment, nor is it a curse. It is a message from your body, a cry for attention and care. The first rule of self-care is to trust in the body's wisdom. Your body has the ability to heal itself, but it needs your trust and cooperation." Amara looked at him, puzzled. "But how can I trust my body when it has caused me so much pain?" she asked. Master Li smiled. "The body and mind are deeply connected, like the roots and branches of a tree. When the mind is burdened by fear, doubt, or stress, the body responds with pain and illness. But when the mind is calm, trusting, and loving, the body can begin to heal. Trust is the first step in this journey. Trust that your body knows what it needs and listen to its whispers." With these words, Master Li gave Amara a simple yet profound practice. Each day she was to sit in silence and place her hands over her heart, breathing deeply and repeating the words, "I trust my body. I trust in its wisdom." Though the practice seemed small, Amara followed it with dedication. Over time, something began to shift within her. As she practiced trusting her body, she noticed that her pain began to lessen, as if the weight she had carried for so long was slowly lifting. She realized that much of her suffering had come from her fear and resistance, from her belief that her body was an enemy to be fought rather than an ally to be trusted. As the weeks passed, Amara's trust deepened, and with it her body began to heal. She felt lighter, freer, and more at peace than she had in years. She understood now that true healing could only begin when she trusted the wisdom within her. With renewed hope and a lightened heart, Amara continued her journey with Master Li. Though her body was beginning to heal, she knew that there was still much to learn. One day, as they sat by the same tranquil pond, Master Li spoke again. "Amara," he said softly, "the second rule of self-care is to embrace the power of prana, the life force that flows within you. This life force is your breath, the bridge between your body and mind. By learning to control your breath, you can influence your body's healing process and bring balance to your entire being." Amara listened intently, her curiosity piqued. "How can my breath help me heal?" she asked. "Breath is life," Master Li replied. It is the rhythm of the universe, the pulse of existence. When you breathe mindfully, you connect with the flow of life itself. You bring oxygen to every cell, nourish every tissue, and calm every nerve. But more than that, your breath carries your intentions, your emotions, your very essence. By mastering your breath, you master your life. With that, Master Li taught Amara the practice of mindful breathing. He instructed her to begin each day with a simple breathing exercise, to inhale deeply through her nose, filling her lungs completely, and then to exhale slowly through her mouth, releasing all tension and negativity. He explained that by focusing on her breath, she could quiet her mind, center her thoughts, and create a state of inner peace. At first, the practice felt unfamiliar, even challenging. Amara found her mind wandering, her thoughts racing, but she persisted. She began to notice how her breath affected her body and emotions. When she was anxious or stressed, her breath became shallow and rapid. But when she breathed deeply and slowly, she felt calm, grounded, and connected to something greater than herself. As she continued the practice, Amara discovered the profound impact that mindful breathing had on her well-being. Her energy levels increased, her mind became clearer, and her pain continued to fade. She realized that her breath was a powerful tool for healing, one that she could access at any moment. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, Amara sat by the pond, breathing deeply, feeling the gentle rise and fall of her chest. She felt a deep sense of connection to herself, to the world around her, to the very breath of life. In that moment, she understood that the power to heal had always been within her, waiting to be discovered. With each passing day, Amara grew stronger, her body and mind more aligned than ever before. But Master Li knew that her journey was far from over. One morning, as they walked through the monastery's peaceful gardens, he shared the next lesson. "Amara," he began, "the third rule of self-care is to cultivate positive thoughts. Your mind is a powerful force capable of shaping your reality. The thoughts you nurture are like seeds. They can either grow into flowers of joy or weeds of suffering. By choosing to focus on positive, life-affirming thoughts, you can transform your inner world and in turn your physical health." Amara frowned slightly, unsure of how to control the endless stream of thoughts that flowed through her mind. "But how can I choose my thoughts when they come and go so quickly?" she asked. "By becoming aware of them," Master Li answered. "Thoughts are like clouds passing through the sky of your mind. You cannot stop them from appearing, but you can choose which ones to hold on to and which ones to let go. When a negative thought arises, acknowledge it, but do not give it power. Instead, gently guide your mind toward thoughts that uplift and inspire you." He then shared a practice to help Amara cultivate positive thoughts. Each morning and evening, she was to take a few moments to reflect on 3 things she was grateful for, no matter how small. She was also encouraged to repeat positive affirmations such as, "I am healthy, I am strong, and I am worthy of love." At first, Amara found this practice challenging. Her mind was accustomed to dwelling on worries, fears, and doubts, but as she continued, she noticed a shift. The more she focused on gratitude and positivity, the more her outlook on life began to change. She felt lighter, more optimistic, and more resilient in the face of challenges. Amara began to see how her thoughts influenced her body. When she was filled with positive energy, her body responded with vitality and strength. But when she allowed negative thoughts to take root, she felt drained and tense. This realization empowered her to take control of her mind, and in doing so, take control of her health. One day, as she gazed at her reflection in the still waters of the pond, Amara saw not the weary, pain-ridden woman she once was, but a strong, radiant being filled with hope and love. She understood now that her mind was a mirror, reflecting the reality she created through her thoughts, and with that understanding came the power to heal and transform. Amara's journey of healing had brought her closer to herself, her breath and her thoughts. But there was one more aspect of her being that needed her attention. One afternoon, as the warm sun bathed the monastery in golden light, Master Li shared the 4th rule of self-care. "Amara," he said, "your body is a sacred temple, a vessel of the divine spirit that flows through all life. The 4th rule is to honor your body, to treat it with the respect and care it deserves. When you nourish your body with love, you create a foundation for health and well-being that can sustain you throughout your life." Amara listened, her heart open to this new wisdom. She realized that she had spent so much time focusing on her pain and ailments that she had forgotten to truly care for her body. She had seen it as a source of suffering rather than a vessel of life. "How can I honor my body?" she asked. By listening to its needs and responding with kindness, Master Li replied. Your body speaks to you in many ways, through hunger and thirst, through fatigue and energy, through pleasure and pain. When you listen to these signals and honor them, you align yourself with the natural rhythms of life. This means eating nourishing foods, getting enough rest, moving your body with joy, and treating it with love and compassion. Master Li guided Amara in developing a daily routine that honored her body. She began each day with gentle stretching and movement, allowing her body to wake up slowly and naturally. She chose foods that were wholesome and nourishing, paying attention to how they made her feel. She made time for rest and relaxation, ensuring that her body had the time it needed to heal and rejuvenate. As she practiced these principles, Amara noticed a profound change in her relationship with her body. She no longer saw it as a burden or a source of pain, but as a precious gift, a temple that housed her spirit. She began to appreciate the beauty and strength of her body, even with its imperfections. She realized that by caring for her body, she was also caring for her soul. One evening, as she lay under the stars, feeling the gentle rise and fall of her breath, Amara felt a deep sense of peace and gratitude. She knew that her body was not just a physical vessel, but a sacred temple that carried her through the journey of life. And in honoring her body, she was honoring the divine within her. As Amara continued her journey of self-care and healing, she began to understand that her well-being was not just about her physical body, but also about her connection to others. One morning, as the first light of dawn touched the horizon, Master Li shared the fifth rule of self-care. Amara, he said, the fifth rule is to practice loving kindness, not just toward yourself, but toward all beings. Compassion is the heart of healing, for when you extend love and kindness to others, you create a ripple of positive energy that flows back to you. This is the circle of compassion, a powerful force that can heal both the giver and the receiver. Amara thought about the people in her life, her family, her friends, even the strangers she passed on the street. She realized that she had often been so consumed by her own pain that she had forgotten to extend compassion to others. She wondered how she could begin to cultivate this quality within herself. Master Li taught Amara the practice of loving-kindness meditation. Each day she was to sit quietly, close her eyes and bring to mind someone she loved. She would then silently repeat the words, "May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, may you live with ease." After a few moments, she would bring to mind someone she felt neutral about, and then someone with whom she had difficulty, repeating the same words for each. At first, Amara found it easy to send loving kindness to those she cared about, but more challenging to extend it to those she felt indifferent or angry toward. However, as she continued the practice, she began to feel a softening in her heart. She realized that everyone, including herself, was deserving of love and compassion, regardless of their actions or circumstances. As she practiced loving kindness, Amara noticed a change in her interactions with others. She became more patient, more understanding, more open-hearted. She also noticed that her own pain began to lessen, as if the act of giving love to others was also healing her own wounds. One day, as she walked through the village, Amara saw a young child crying on the side of the road. Without thinking, she knelt down and offered the child a comforting word and a warm smile. The child's tears stopped, and a smile spread across their face. In that moment, Amara felt a deep sense of connection and fulfillment. She understood now that compassion was not just a feeling, but an action, a way of being in the world that brought healing and joy to all. With each lesson, Amara's understanding of self-care and well-being deepened. But Master Li knew that there was one final practice that would bring everything together. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the mountains, he shared the sixth rule. Amara, he said, the sixth rule of self-care is to embrace the power of meditation. Meditation is the art of quieting the mind, of finding stillness within the chaos of life. When you meditate, you create a space of peace and clarity where true healing can occur. It is in this stillness that you connect with the deepest part of yourself, the part that is always whole, always at peace. Amara had heard of meditation before, but she had never practiced it consistently. She wondered if she would be able to quiet her mind, which often felt like a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions. Master Li smiled, as if sensing her hesitation. Meditation is not about stopping your thoughts, he explained. It is about observing them without attachment, like watching leaves float down a stream. With time and practice, your mind will naturally become quieter, and you will begin to experience a deep sense of inner peace. He guided Amara through a simple meditation practice. She was to sit comfortably, close her eyes and focus on her breath, noticing the sensations of each inhale and exhale. When thoughts arose, she was to acknowledge them without judgment and gently bring her attention back to her breath. At first, Amara found it difficult to sit in stillness. Her mind was restless, her body fidgety, but she persevered. Each day she spent a few minutes in meditation, gradually increasing the time as she became more comfortable with the practice. Over time, Amara began to notice a change. Her mind became quieter, her thoughts less chaotic. She felt a deep sense of peace and stillness, even in the midst of life's challenges. She realized that meditation was not just a practice, but a way of being, a way of finding calm and clarity in every moment. One evening, as she sat in meditation by the pond, Amara felt a profound sense of connection to herself, to the world around her, to the infinite stillness that lay within. She understood now that true healing came not from external solutions, but from within, from the quiet mind and the peaceful heart. Amara had learned to trust her body, to breathe mindfully, to cultivate positive thoughts, to honor her body as a temple, to practice loving kindness, and to embrace the power of meditation. But there was one final lesson that would complete her journey. One day, as the first light of dawn touched the mountains, Master Li shared the seventh and final rule. "Amara," he said, "the seventh rule of self-care is to surrender to the present moment. Life is a constant flow, ever-changing and unpredictable. When you resist the flow, you create tension and suffering. But when you surrender, when you let go of the need to control, you find peace and harmony. The present moment is all you have, and it is where true healing occurs." Amara listened, her heart open to this final teaching. She realized that much of her suffering had come from her resistance to the present moment, from her desire to control her circumstances and outcomes. "But how can I surrender when life is so uncertain?" she asked. "Surrender does not mean giving up," Master Li replied. "It means accepting what is, without judgment or resistance. It means trusting in the wisdom of life, in the flow of the universe. When you surrender, you find that everything unfolds as it should, and you are carried by the current of life with grace and ease." With this final teaching, Amara began to practice surrender. She learned to let go of her need for control, to embrace the present moment with acceptance and trust. She realized that life was not something to be fought or resisted, but something to be lived fully and deeply. As she practiced surrender, Amara felt a deep sense of freedom and peace. She no longer worried about the future or regretted the past. She lived fully in the present moment, embracing each experience with an open heart. She realized that true healing was not about fixing or changing anything, but about accepting and loving what is. One day, as she walked through the village, Amara noticed a butterfly dancing in the air. She watched as it moved with grace and ease, carried by the wind, never resisting, always flowing. In that moment, she understood the true meaning of surrender, the true meaning of life. And so Amara's journey of healing and self-care came to an end, but her journey of life continued, filled with trust, love, compassion, and peace. She knew that her body had the power to heal itself, that the wisdom of the universe was always within her, guiding her on her path. Amara's story is a reminder that the power to heal lies within each of us. By following these 7 essential Buddhist rules for self-care and well-being, you too can unlock the hidden potential within your body and mind. Trust in your body's wisdom, embrace the power of breath, cultivate positive thoughts, honor your body as a sacred temple, practice loving kindness, embrace the power of meditation, and surrender to the present moment. Your body has the power to heal itself. Your journey of healing begins now. May you find peace, health, and happiness on your path.